So in just under 1 hour's time, at 1 o'clock, I will be taking part in Captain Tom 100, running 100 minutes to raise money for the Terrence Higgins Trust. And it's just starting to rain. Great.
Are you out of breath yet?
I look like a sweaty mess. But you look amazing. Here he is! Yes!
You're in literally the middle of nowhere. I'm surprised you've even got 4G out there.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I haven't put a face on in about 3.
And I was like, I don't remember applying for the marathon.
Ian and I just fully hit the wall, as in like I couldn't even run.
It seemed like a really good idea at the time, and now I'm just kind of halfway through it, starting to regret it.
Oh God, just don't stop. Keep going.
Amazing!
Hi, I'm Philip DeHaley.
And I'm Rob Eyles, and we've set up THaT to produce events and raise money and awareness for HIV charities.
We will be producing events to celebrate and amplify the voices of artists living with HIV.
After realising that so many friends close to me are living with HIV, I felt that I needed to be doing more to raise awareness, not only to the LGBTQ+ community, but to everyone.
We are committed to establishing THaT as a platform to reduce stigma and to help to celebrate the artists living with HIV and tell their stories.
We plan to curate and produce events, festivals and concerts showcasing new work alongside discussions, talks and music.
We are looking to connect with artists living with HIV.
Singers, dancers, actors, choreographers, directors.
If you do it, let us know about it and email us at thatfest@thatstageyblog.com.
We're really excited for our first project, which will be to release a new cover of A Little Respect by Erasure.
We're looking for anybody with some singing ability to appear on the record.
So get in touch with us.
To help us produce these events, if you would like to make a donation, you can.
Just head over to justgiving.com/crowdfunding/ThatFest.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook at ThatFestUK. Hello, industry minds. So we're off to a good start. Hello, people who are watching me. I have no idea I know why I'm doing this. So this is part of Captain Tom 100. So today would have been Captain Tom's 101st birthday. I hope you can hear me because it's a bit windy out here. And I'm going to be joining in this initiative by running for 100 minutes to raise money for my charity, which is THaT Fest. And I'm going to tell you a lot more about that over the next 100 minutes, as I'm joined by a few special guests and a few friends. So I hope you'll stay with me or check back in. And if you can, please do donate, because it's all for an incredible initiative that I've set up with my friend Rob Eyles. Now, Rob and I will both be running the London Marathon in October to raise money for Terrence Higgins Trust. And we've set up THaT Fest. Now I'm going to introduce him in a couple of minutes to talk to you more about THaT Fest, because I'm already getting out of breath. So while I've got more people joining, I'll just tell you about where I am. So this is Cumbria, where my parents live, where I've been locked down for the past year. It's great. To be honest, it's been look at it. It's gorgeous. So I've started to get back into fitness and started to get back into running. And the reason I wanted to do the London Marathon is because, and I know I don't look it, but I turn 40 next year. And it was always one of my ambitions to run the marathon before I turn 40. So here I am, training to do the marathon in October. And some of my guests that I'll be chatting to later have done the marathon or will also be doing the marathon this year. So I'll be getting lots of tips and suggestions from them as we go on. So, hello everybody. Can somebody just write a comment just to let me know you can all hear me okay? I'm not just talking to myself. Just say something in the comments if you wouldn't mind. Thank you. Meanwhile, this is going to tire out my arm. Didn't really think it through, as I'm going to be running with this for the next 100 minutes. Now, I was going to do it on a treadmill, but then decided, hi Cathy, thank you. I was going to do it on a treadmill, but then I thought, why waste this beautiful setting where I'm very lucky to be? So that's the reason why I'm doing it live, and hopefully we can raise a bit of awareness for the Terrence Higgins Trust and for Captain Tom and for THaT. So I'm waiting for my partner in crime, Rob Eyles, to join, and when he does, he can tell you a little bit more about it. I'm already out of breath, and it's not even been 5 minutes yet. So, a little bit more about Captain Tom 100. They will be doing events all this weekend. Oh, here we go. It is when it connects. Lovely.
Here he is.
How are you doing? So I'm going to hand over to you now.
Are you out of breath yet?
Just a little bit. I'm having class yet.
Running and talking at the same time.
The running and talking's okay. The holding the phone, my arm is starting to hurt, and it's only been 5 minutes. So we'll just keep going.
Like one of those things that you can wrap round you and like hold the phone in front of you or something.
Well, I did think about that, like a kind of, what do you call them? Selfie stick.
Yeah.
So we very rarely have any traffic on these roads.
Up in the middle of nowhere.
There's a white van.
Oh no!
So I've just managed to avoid that. Good stuff. But, so, catch my breath and carry on running. Will you tell the lovely people who are watching a little bit more about that fest?
Yeah, of course. So, I mean, myself and Vic, we've set up that fest predominantly really to raise money and awareness around HIV, and really trying to reduce this stigma that it's very much focused purely on gay people. HIV can be contracted by anyone, whether gay or straight. It's to raise awareness around that, and it's to raise money essentially for HIV charities. We're starting off with Terrence Higgins, which is obviously a really well-known and really valuable charity. But yeah, it'd be great as we go through. We're gonna start to look at other charities, and the scope is quite endless. And we've got a really few exciting projects lined up quite imminently. Yeah,
we can tell them about the first one, can't we?
Yeah, we can kind of say, in terms of the song, which we're doing a kind of a cover of A Little Respect, which is
by Erasure.
By Erasure, I know, and we've got somebody amazing involved in that, in helping produce it with us, which maybe we won't say just yet.
No.
Maybe we'll save that. But so we're going to have an amazing cast put together for that, and it's going to be a really great thing that we can put together, and something that we can release hopefully later in the year.
Tell the people about who we're looking to get involved with and how they can get in touch.
Yeah, so I mean, essentially we're looking to get anyone to get involved really, who is a singer, whether you, but if you this is kind of like a really touchy subject, and anyone who is open about being HIV positive, then obviously if you want to tell us your story, then we'll really love you to get in touch. Aside from that, if you just want to get in touch with us anyway because you want to be involved in any project, whether it's this single that we're doing, whether it's any of the concerts that we've got planned for later in the year, then obviously please do get in touch. if you go and follow THaT Fest, that is the most important thing you need to do today. Follow THaT Fest. Go onto the website or go onto the link in the bio. You can keep in touch with everything we've got going on, and we're essentially fundraising at the moment in order to do all these exciting things that we've got planned. So if you can afford 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, 30 pounds, please,
50.
50 pounds, then you can donate to that, and that will essentially go towards us being able to put on some really exciting things throughout the year, which are all going to raise money for Terrence Higgins initially, and then for other HIV charities.
We kind of really want this to be a platform for people living with HIV, to give them, to amplify their voices, and to get them involved. So primarily, we'd love to hear from anybody about your experiences, about your stories. So please do get in touch and follow us at THaT Fest UK.
And you've got the branding there now. I love it. The branding t-shirt. There we go. There it is.
Oh, they're running in a black t-shirt. Not the one.
Oh yeah. Patches galore.
But tell us more about. So you're doing the marathon again this year.
Yeah.
Okay. You've never done it before, have you?
I've never run a marathon before. No. I've run a half marathon. That's as far as I've gone. The thought of doing it again, double. No, thanks. Okay, I'm going to try in October, October 3rd. So that's another side of things. We are both running the marathon in October, and we're raising money for Terrence Higgins specifically for that. So that is a life fundraiser that's going at the moment. So donate to both THaT Fest and to our private fundraising pages. That is the most important thing.
And what made you want to do the marathon?
I suppose, as a gay person myself, I've realised maybe I've not done enough over my lifetime at the moment in order to raise this awareness and to build this kind of platform, and to be able to do it to this scale, I think is quite something that we can be passionate about, we can be proud of, and to do it with somebody like you is a really great experience. And I think we should all be doing more stuff like this to raise that awareness and to get people on board and to raise money. And I think it will be something really proud that I can be proud of, that that I've been part of over my lifetime, and that's really great.
And tell me your tips for how you've been training.
My tips for how I've been training. Oh God, just don't stop. Keep going. I don't know. It's weird. I've always just enjoyed running. So I suppose you've kind of got to have some sort of enjoyment over running, because it's quite a long distance to train. But yeah, I suppose just keep doing more. I think you've got to do it regularly to really get into that rhythm. I think once you lose that rhythm of running every week or every couple of weeks, you do lose that motivation as well. So I think it's really important just to keep doing it regularly. Otherwise, as I say, you get out of that rhythm. You've been doing it a lot, though. You've been training a lot. I haven't run for a couple of weeks.
Well, that was partly because I put on so much weight during lockdown that I thought I needed to get off my ass.
Yeah.
So I've been doing quite a lot. But then I've not run as far as you. I did up to 17k.
Yeah.
I think you did. Tell us about the run you did a couple of weeks ago.
21k, I think, which is about half marathon.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago. And now I'm having a bit of a break before I then kind of properly start training in a month. Otherwise, I feel I'm going to peak too soon.
I think I have peaked too soon. This is killing me. But I purposely kind of helped this week because I thought I don't want to tire myself out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm just look at me sweating. Lush.
What training have you got?
I've got my Nike Shocks.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, cute. Although I read somewhere that you're supposed to replace your trainers after running something like 300k, which isn't that much.
No.
I wouldn't replace my trainers that
I probably
frequently.
could do with getting some new ones. I mean, I only got some new ones at Christmas, but I feel like they're already wearing down. So maybe I do need some fresh ones for the old marathon.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You need to like wear them in. You can't just rock up in them.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the
There we go.
gorgeous
Beautiful
scenery?
view. See, I run on like main roads in and out of like the outer part of southeast London. You're in literally the middle of nowhere. I'm surprised you've even got 4G out there.
I'm worried it's going to cut off any minute, but it's holding in there. As am I.
Yeah.
So tell us more about the single, because that's our first project.
So the single, we're doing A Little Respect. It's going to be a cover of A Little Respect, which is originally by Erasure. The plan is kind of like Band-Aid style, I suppose, in the fact we're going to get as many people together to sing on that single. There's going to be a video for it, and it will all be essentially to raise money for Terrence Higgins and THaT. And yeah, as I said before, you can be part of that if anyone who is open and wants to talk about their experience either living with HIV or whether you just are interested in THaT as kind of a brand, and you want to get in touch with us and explore the opportunities of potentially being involved, whether it's in the single, whether it's in concerts, whether it's in talks, interviews.
Let's talk more about what we plan to do next year, hopefully.
Yeah,
once theatres will be open.
Hopefully, as THaT grows, if this year we can do kind of a one-day concert, maybe next year we're hoping we can do, I don't know, a week-long concert, and whether that's like kind of a festival style week, which can incorporate whether that's, you know, performances of new writing, new music, you know, whether that's stuff that really directly involves the people that we've got involved with that fest. Yeah, it can be kind of a week-long festival, I suppose, is the idea.
And we've already had people start to reach out to us to ask if they can be involved.
Yeah, and we've got some really amazing people in the pipeline to be involved with various things throughout the year. So there's some going to be really exciting announcements. So definitely, as I say, the most important thing to do today is to follow THaT. Go onto the fundraising page, drop 5, 10, 20, 50 pounds in there, and that will all go towards helping us produce these amazing events throughout the year and beyond.
And as well, like you say, we're kind of looking for people to not just donate, but to share this and tell people that it's happening. And if you know anybody who this affects, anybody who is living with HIV,
yeah,
and you think they might want to be involved, please do tell them about us.
Yeah, definitely spread the word. Get them to get in touch with us. We'll get them to follow us, and yeah, drop us an email. There's an email on our social media link, I think.
You want to type it in? It's thatfest@thatstageblog.com.
Yeah, thatfest at thatstageblog.com.
And yeah, and we're open to connecting. We would basically want to build a network and connect any artist who's living with HIV and try and provide some opportunities for them. So it could be anything from like choreographers, writers, stage managers, anybody who wants to do more like we do and be involved.
Yeah, we're completely up for kind of collaborating with people on any level really as well. So yeah, it's best to kind of get in touch with us and chat and see how we can help. I feel like I'm running over, and I think your next guest is here.
Is she? I've just dropped my water bottle.
It's
lovely, Cathy Reed. Huh?
Is the lovely SJ joining you next?
I think she's coming up after.
Oh, okay.
We've got the beautiful Cathy Reed from Industry Minds.
Oh, Cathy's next. Okay.
Yeah, you can disappear if you wish. Are you going to jump back in later?
I can drop back in. When do you need me?
In about an hour, I'll still be here.
You'll still be running. 100 minutes.
Unless I've collapsed.
Yeah.
But yeah, if anybody does see me collapse, please call an ambulance.
We won't, because
Hopefully I
we're up
won't.
in the middle of nowhere and we're.
Well, yeah, exactly. But yeah, so thank you very much,
Cathy's
Rob.
here for you, so I'll go and I'll see you in a bit. And good luck.
Amazing. Thank you very much.
Don't
Bye.
stop.
All right, Boris. Bye.
Bye.
So, up next, I think if she's about to send me a request, we've got the brilliant Cathy Reed from Industry Minds who's going to chat to me a little bit about her marathon mission. Because she too will be running the marathon in October. So, I think, are you there, Cathy? You need to send a request and I will let you into my room. I don't know how to do that. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Oh, I've just done it, I think. Are you there? Is she there? This is live. So wait. There she is! You
Hi.
look amazing. I look like a sweaty mess, but you look
Well,
amazing.
I put my face on today because I've been finishing my last piece of work last night. I haven't put a face on in about 3 4 years. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to put a face on for Phil.
And how does it feel? Do you remember what you're doing?
What? To put a face on?
Yeah. I mean, it looks amazing, so you haven't forgotten.
Oh, thank you. No, it's nice to get done up.
So you're running the marathon this year. Is this the first time you've done it?
Yeah, it is. So I have had this hanging over me since September 2019 because I applied for the 2020 marathon, which of course was cancelled twice, which was actually really detrimental in terms of like training and mental health because I trained up to about like 15, 16 miles in kind of before it got cancelled in March. Like I was like about to do my next big runs of like 18, 20 miles. It got cancelled just before lockdown, which was about 6 weeks before the marathon was supposed to be. So I'd done the months of training. I trained through, do you remember how we had a load of really awful storms at the start of 2020?
Yeah.
I was doing like 10-mile runs in them, like coming home like a drowned rat. And then it got cancelled. And then, of course, they said that there was going to be another one. I think it was on the 4th of October. And then they cancelled that until July, the end of July, I think. So it's been a lot of.
You didn't fancy doing it virtually because a lot of people took to the streets and did it of their own accord. You want to do experience.
I'm not because I want to do it in like in the atmosphere, but also it's the kind of thing that I don't really want to put myself through twice. I think once I've done it, that'll be me. I mean, who knows? I might love it and be like, I want to do marathons, but I don't see that happening.
Well, that was it. So for me, I decided I wanted to do it before I turned 40, which is next year. And this is my like last chance. But then I have started to think, I was like, ooh, maybe I might do like the New York one next year.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Like obviously, if this one doesn't kill me, I might consider it. But so how's your training been? How far have you ever run in one go?
15 miles, I think.
Nice.
Which was last year. I've taken it slower getting into it this year. I've actually been a little bit unwell over the last couple of months. I've had a lot of stress, and it's just manifested itself in me being unwell. So I've been taking it really easy. But I've moved to Scotland, so I'm now running on a lot of hills, whereas London was so flat, and I didn't realize it until I got here, and I was like, why am I so out of breath? And it's because I'm like trying to like pull myself up the hills. So I'm getting back into it. It's about 22 weeks until the marathon now. So
don't remind me.
Plenty of time, I know. So plenty of time to get into a really good training routine. And as I said, I've just finished uni, so I've got basically the whole summer off. So I'm looking forward to just like really looking after myself properly, eating well, getting loads of sleep, and getting the good training runs in. So yeah.
And who are you running it for?
So my dad died of a brain tumor in 2012, and I always wanted to do something kind of for my mum. So she's done her big charity. I kind of feel like it was fine. Kind of wishing I chose a girl, but it's a great charity for a lot of neurological. They're really underfunded. It's really difficult to do research on the brain. It's such a complex organ, and I really wanted to run in memory of my dad, and he was unwell for 12 years. So I kind of think running 26 miles and training, it's going to be tough, but it's nothing compared to what he went through. So I just want to run for him, really.
Exactly. And how do you plan to raise some money? Have you got any fundraising ideas or activities coming up?
I'm going to have to think of some. So luckily I've already raised about 1,500 quid. So I'm really happy with that. And that was from just people donating to my page beforehand. I'm hoping to be able to run a couple of events up here when we're allowed to. Things have opened up a bit slower up in Scotland. We were only allowed to go to restaurants from Monday. So I'm hoping to be able to maybe run one at my mum's work. I'm hoping that my old school sometimes does bake sales and stuff, so go and do a bake sale at my old school. But yeah, I think fundraising is quite difficult as well, especially when everyone's been hit so hard by the pandemic, and you feel it's difficult to ask people for money, but these charities have lost out on so much, and so much fundraising possibility. So yeah, we'll hope.
Tighter and
yeah.
Well, I mean, this leads us nicely on, because I do want to ask about Industry Minds.
Sure.
Because this is a fantastic initiative that you set up. So just for anybody who doesn't know about it, can you just tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, sure. So Industry Minds, it was my best friend Scarlett's idea. Scarlett, it started as a podcast, just help break the stigma around it, and it's kind of just grown and evolved over the last 2.5 years into more of a platform and a charity. And we raise money to provide counselling services. We have an amazing counsellor, Mary Birch BEM, who does a lot of work for us for free and at no cost as well. Those counselling sessions, we run seminars that Mary runs. We've got one coming up next Thursday if anyone would like to join. I think it's the 6th. And of course we run the Industry Minds Awards, which had to be postponed this year, but we're in the process of renegotiating the date for that. So as soon as all that is sorted, that information will be out. But it's really just about breaking the stigma of mental health in the arts, and also providing help for people who need it, because as we have seen, and as Mary has seen, being our counsellor, we have had a big uptake in the counselling sessions over the pandemic naturally, and Mary has been phenomenal in facilitating them, and we really couldn't do it without her.
Anybody who's watching, I'm not being lazy. I am literally at the hill, which is a bit of a killer.
Yeah,
I'm just going to walk this bit. I don't even know the routes in Marathon. Is it relatively flat?
I don't know. I think so. I think London is quite flat. You'll probably have to. Have you got SJ coming on? I think has she done it before?
She's done it before, and she's doing it again.
It can't have been that bad then. Can't have been that bad. But I'm sure she'll be able to.
Where you just forget the pain. Not that I know.
I think once you get past about, I think apparently you hit the wall at about like 20 miles. That's what a couple of my friends have done. Yeah, but then there's 10k to go. But that kind of last 10k, there's just so many people screaming. I really hope that there's lots of crowds allowed. I don't know how I'll manage it if I don't don't have people like the atmosphere. But I guess it's just that kind of, well, maybe not a once in a lifetime opportunity, but for some of us it is a once in a lifetime thing. And I think it'll just be the adrenaline, hopefully will get us through, and then we can just collapse at the end.
So me and Rob are both doing it for Terrence Higgins.
Yeah.
And we've got his boyfriend has already been warned that he has to get a pizza ready for when we cross the finishing line.
Yeah.
We could just collapse and stuff our faces. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, you talked about mental health, and I've talked to a lot of people who running really helps to kind of improve their mental health as well as their physical health. Have you found that?
Definitely. I mean, as much as full disclosure, I'm not. So I find it quite difficult, but in terms of, I always feel better after I come back from a run. I've never been like 20k and it's been absolutely awful. I've never regretted one. And I do feel better. I'm not one of these people who can listen to music while I run, because I try and run to the beat.
Really?
And it really puts me off, because I'm like, am I running like this? Am I running too slow? Am I running too fast? So I listen to like podcasts and audiobooks and stuff, and it's a really good way to just zone out and give yourself time for yourself, really.
See, I just put on the tunes. My favourite's Anne Juliet soundtrack. I just think it's banging. I just run along to that. But I'm so out of breath. This seemed like a really good idea when I thought of it. But the actual reality of running it, it's knackering. But it's all for a good cause. So obviously, this is for the Captain Tom 100, which would have been his 101st birthday today, which is lovely to kind of mark. Do you know anybody else who's been doing anything like this weekend?
I don't actually know. I haven't been on social media that much recently, as you know from how long it took me to reply to your message. But yeah, I'll have a look and see what people are doing. I have seen some stuff on Twitter, people like things that have been retweeted by people, and I follow Captain Tom on Twitter, so they've been loads of people are doing loads of great stuff for him. It's so great that someone who was 100 years old was able to make such a difference and just inspire so many people to raise money for charity, which is, as we mentioned, just so important in this last year, considering how much people have lost.
Exactly. And I want to ask, you've been retraining in law, is it?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So how did that come about?
Sorry?
How did that come about?
So I wanted to do law from a really young age, actually, and my parents did kind of the opposite thing that I expected them to do. And my dad was a lawyer, and he said, "Do you really want to do law? Like, do you really, really want to do it?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I think so, but I kind of like the idea of acting. Like, I really like that, but I guess it's not really a career, because I didn't think. I didn't think it was, because my school was incredibly academic and didn't want me to do musical theatre. And my dad said to me, he said, "Okay, well, do musical theatre." He was like, "If you really want to do it, do it." So I did. And then a year or so, I moved to Scotland, and I got the opportunity. So it's been running for about 10 years, so it wasn't affected by COVID. And the course is amazing. It's really challenging. Like, my brain is like, but I'm absolutely loving it. And yeah, it's just something new, and it's just the way that my life has taken me, really.
I was going to say, how's it been to like transition back into academia from like, I mean, obviously dancing and singing is a skill in itself, but obviously it's a different skill.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't sat an exam since 2011, so it was because obviously you don't sit exams in musical theatre. I mean, obviously you sit like dance exams, but you don't sit practical theory. Sorry. So yeah, it was a shock to the system to get back into it, but quite like kind of like applying my knowledge. And a lot of people on my course have been like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool! You did." go back for my second year.
That's incredible. Right, well, I'm going to let you go because I've got the next guest. But thank you so much. So that was a gorgeous Cathy Reed from Industry Minds. And I'm now going to look for my next guest, who, Liam Doyle. So if anybody's still watching, I'm partway through. Can you send me a request? So I've got it. Liam, it says, I'm going to speak to Sarah Jane while we try and get Liam back. Liam, it says you needed the latest version or something. I don't really know. Anyway, while we try and get Liam, I'm going to throw over to Sarah Jane, baby, if she's there. Yeah, so for anybody wondering what the hell I'm doing, I am attempting to run for 100 minutes in support of Captain Tom 100. So this is where I am at the moment. Gorgeous countryside in Cumbria. It's normally quite quiet, but for some reason today there's lots of trucks and cars everywhere. So, okay. I'm trying to get Sarah Jane. I don't know why it's not letting me go live. Sarah Jane. Yeah, I knew this was going to happen. Right. Amazing! How are you?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So I'm outside, so I was just double checking.
Amazing!
Hi!
You are a little Wonder Woman because you've done the marathon before and you're doing it again.
I know, I think I'm crazy. I had a little look at all of my sort of tweets from last year, not from when I first did it, all saying never again, and look what's happened.
So tell me about when you first did it and who you did it for.
So I did it in 2019, and I'm going to tell you this story, right? Because this is the absolute truth. I was on my way to Birmingham, and I got an email saying, "You've got a place at the marathon," and I was like, "I don't remember applying for the marathon." I was like, "How has this happened?" So I rang them, and I was like, "This is for Dementia Revolution, who were the marathon charity that year." And I rang them, and I was like, "Guys, is this a mistake?" Because they were like, "Oh no, we've just sent some of our places early," and I was like, "Oh, okay." Yeah. So I set up a fundraising page, and I did all of that. About 3 days later, I got a phone call from them being like, "We're so sorry, there's another Sarah Jane Price." And we sent the email to the wrong person, and I was like, I'm so glad, because I thought I was losing my mind and I would never sign up for a marathon. And then they were like, "But as it's our mistake, you can still have the place." And I was like, "So I still have to run a marathon? What? How have I found myself in this position?"
I thought you were about to say accidentally signed up when you were drunk or something.
Well, no, what I think happened is that because my grandfather had dementia, so I think I signed up for there's a car. That was very noisy.
It's random. And a sheep. There we go.
Oh, look at the sheep. I think I signed up for a newsletter and for some information on fundraising for them, and suddenly found myself running a marathon. So yeah, I don't know how that happened, and it was an extremely painful experience.
How was it in the end? Did you do a lot of training before it?
So I did the London half, which I loved. I'm not built to run. I'm very short. I'm not particularly athletic, let's say. But I did the London Half, and I went up to about 17 miles.
Wow.
But nothing really prepared me, because everyone's like, "Oh, the adrenaline will get you through the last bit," and I was like, "No, it hasn't." Yeah, I found it. I went over on my ankle in mile 17, and that was really difficult because I knew I had to keep going. My dad was at mile 23 or something, and I just knew I had to get there, but I was in quite a lot of pain. I lost every single toenail I owned.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a tough go, and I remember being like, never again. And then I really wanted to raise money for Macmillan this year, so I remembered enjoying the half, so I was like, I'll do the half, that's fine, and I'll raise money from them. And then Macmillan called me about a week ago and said, just wondering how you're going to raise some money, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, I might do this, that, and the other. And they were like, oh, well, we'd love to offer you a place in the marathon. And I was like, what? How? And so there again, I find myself now doing the marathon. So, yeah.
I love the fact that you have accidentally become involved in a marathon twice now.
I know, and it just...
Both by accident.
Honestly, you can ask my housemates, Max, and like they came to support me, and it was just a mess afterwards. I went home and had a Chinese, and I was like on crutches, the whole shebang. So hopefully this time I'll be better.
Have you got any plans to fundraise, or how you're going to raise some money? Any ideas?
Not yet. I was so lucky last time. Everybody was so generous. But I think it's going to be a little bit harder this time, especially after the difficult years everybody's had and things. Yeah. So I'm not entirely sure. There's so many things you can do. So I don't know. I'm going to have a real think about it soon. I've only just today secured my place, so I haven't actually set up my fundraising page yet. So that's on the to-do list today. So I'm thinking about it.
When I set mine up, I paid extra for the official photographs. Are you getting yours?
So I got the official photographs last time. I don't know if you see. There's a photo from the marathon.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're just normal photographs, to be fair, but they are great. There's a picture of me coming up to the finish line, and I'm shouting at the sky like this. And it's obviously me shouting at God, why have you done this to me? So, yeah, they are good memories. And I'm going to get mine framed with my medal and stuff. But I do have a plan. I want to do the Disney Marathon.
There's a Disney marathon.
So all Disney Worlds and Disneylands do marathons, 5Ks, 10Ks, and half marathons. And there's one where the princesses cheer you on as you run round. Yeah.
Where though? Around the Disney resorts?
Yeah, so they close the park off for a weekend, and the runners go, and then so you do the Friday night, I think it's a 5K. Saturday morning's a 10K and then a half, and then you get to spend the day in the park on the Sunday if you can walk. But
so you have to do each activity?
You don't. You can do whichever ones you want, and you get special Disney medals.
Oh, that's cute.
They look really fun. And I've never been to Disney Paris, so I really quite fancy doing Disney Paris. So. Yeah, even though I hate running, I don't know why I keep doing this myself.
I mean, you obviously manage it. It's just proof that anybody can do it.
Well, this is the thing.
I've never done it before. So you mentioned about the past year, and obviously productions are now starting to open. Castings have been announced. So many castings have been announced. It must be exciting for you to kind of be back in business?
Yeah, I mean, I suffered just as much as everybody else. Last year, I think everybody was just in a place of going, what is going on? I've started working with a new company as well as with Selladoor. I'm so excited to work with them and just to see things reopening as well, and lots of friends being involved in various things. It just gives me so much joy to see everybody back doing what they're supposed to, because I think everybody had a moment last year of going, am I ever going to be doing what I do again? I remember I took up a second job as a nanny, and I was walking around the park with this baby kind of going, is this my life now? Is this my, not that I loved nannying and I love children, but I remember thinking, right, is this now my, like, what? So yeah, but no, super, super exciting, and lots of stuff going on, lots of friends, obviously you messaged me today because Darren and
I'm so excited about this.
Darren and Fourth Wall have announced Jessica Vosk and Jenna and Shoshana again, so that's just really such. Sorry?
Are you still casting for them?
So they don't really need much casting. I go along. I call myself Darren's support dog, because I'm there to. I help him get his lunch, and if he's having a breakdown, pick him up. But no, I don't tend to do bits and pieces. Like I did the Light Princess for them and things like that. But they haven't really had anything, that needs a casting in it, really. Because I cast myself as Shoshana's biggest fan, but that's about it.
Right. Yeah. And Jessica, I used to be obsessed with her little Instagram stories and videos that she'd put up, because she seems hilarious.
I know.
Brilliant.
I mean, Jess, I cannot wait. I'm going to be fangirling, and I just think it's amazing that they bring over such amazing people that haven't had the chance to be over here, and I know that they've got a lot to announce. So it's going to hold on to your pennies and your purses, because they're going to be empty soon.
Well, that's it. It's like feast to famine, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, obviously, apart from the projects you're working on, are there any shows that you're personally excited about seeing? Either new shows or returning shows?
I can't wait for Beauty and the Beast. I'm so excited.
Isn't it incredible casting?
Oh, I just cannot wait. What a magic show. So I'm super excited about that. Yeah. I really can't wait to go and see Come From Away again, just because I'm going to just cry, and it's beautiful. Those, I think, are my two big ones. Obviously, Bring It On. Very, very excited about Bring It On.
Did Bring It On at college. Did you know this?
Amber?
Yes, Amber Davis did Bring It On as a college production, and now she's taking it on the road. How incredible is that?
And you're about to go on the road again.
I am, with Bring It On.
How do you feel about that?
Do you know what? I'm so excited. I'm nervous because I think there's going to be so much dancing that I'm going to have to get my stamina up.
But didn't you do Bring It On at Erdang?
Yeah, I did it in my third year. So I know the show, but I want to do it fresh in my head. I'm more experienced, I've lived my life, so I want to play the role differently than I did when I was naive and young.
I know, and when we first met her, she sort of said, I loved playing this part, I love this show. So we knew that she could do it, and then, she's just grown as a person and in maturity as a performer as well, so it's just going to be amazing. And the cast that they've got lined up for that is incredible as well, like super, super incredible.
Do we know yet when that's going to be announced? Is it going to be soon?
I don't think soon. I don't think soon is the word.
Well, when did it start? When does it actually hit the road?
I think it starts in October, November.
Oh, okay. So there's a few things.
So
before.
there's a while, yeah. So,
Oh, nice.
but yeah, it's very exciting.
Amazing. Well, I should let you get back to work, I suppose, while I carry on.
Thanks, dear.
100 minutes.
Amazing thing you're doing, and sending all the love and support, and donate everybody.
Thank you to THaT Fest. I can't wait to be back in freedom, swinging around a pole when we're allowed to.
Oh, babes, we're there.
We weren't allowed to move out of our tables. We were like kind of just sat there, like waving at each other. Yeah, amazing.
Well, sending you lots of love.
Thank you. Bye.
Speak to you soon. Bye.
Oh, that was a brilliant Sarah Jane who's done the marathon before and is doing it again. I'm not doing a marathon, by the way. For anybody who's just tuned in, I'm doing 100 minutes for Captain Tom 100 on what would have been his 101st birthday. So all weekend, people are going to be doing events around the country, and I'm here in Cumbria, where I've been locked down for the past year. So I'm now going to try again to get Mr. Doyle, who I think is on the line. So Liam's done the marathon before. Here he is! Yes!
Oh my God!
How are you?
How are you?
I'm alright. I'm a bit tired, but getting there. It seemed like a really good idea at the time, and now I'm just kind of halfway through it, starting to regret it. But yeah, it's fine. So tell me, how are you?
I'm feeling how I felt after 17 miles of a marathon. So when dragging me.
So when did you do it?
So we did it. Me and Jodie ran it together in 2018. Geez, that feels like a long time ago. 3 years ago. And I was doing Legally Blonde at the time, and I did 2 shows in Sunderland on the Saturday night. Had to drive back to Coventry, got home at 3:30, got up at 6:30, got the train to London, and then ran the marathon.
You're mad.
Yeah,
absolutely mad.
And just to make it even worse, it was the hottest marathon on record. Started the marathon, it was 32 degrees.
And what time did you do it in?
Oh mate, I was shocking. I was so. We did it basically. I did it in 5 hours and 15.
Wow.
Basically, I was aiming to do it in under 4 hours and 30 minutes, but they said due to the heat, 45 minutes to your time. So I kind of ran it. Yeah. But Jodie was fuming. She was absolutely fuming.
And did she just sped off, or did she stay back with you?
No, it's quite funny. It's really cute. So basically, we got to like mile 17, and I just fully hit the wall, as in like I couldn't even run. I just basically what I started to do was run for as far as I could of every mile, and then walk. And then when I got to the next mile thing, I would run again. But I just said to Jodie, I was like, I'm going to kill your time. Just go. So we ran and we went through this tunnel, and she basically just got to the end and then rang me. So I can't leave you. So she waited for me to catch her up, and she started running the wrong way. Oh. So Jodie ended up marathon, but
wow, that's commitment.
I tell you what, it's the best experience of my life, though. It honestly, it's the best.
Really?
Experience. Yeah, Jodie's doing it again this year, and I'm definitely happy I'm not doing it. But I will definitely do it again one day, 100%.
And we've got to talk about this little announcement that was recent. Somebody going on tour.
Mate, off.
This is exciting news.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm really, really happy. It's been 2.5 years since I've been on stage, so I'm really
wow.
Yeah, because obviously I had that issue with my voice, and then obviously the pandemic happened. So it's been a long time coming, but I'm absolutely chuffed. And with Heather's as well, because I was involved in the original workshop. So
yeah. So for people who don't know, obviously before Jodie was involved, you did the workshop at the Other Palace.
Yeah, I like to tell her that I'm the original, which is always fun to tell.
Well, you are the OG. But
yeah, I can't wait. I'm so excited.
I'm like, so I mean, I can't wait because for one reason you're going to be in your boxer shorts.
Mate, I've been to
I've been in the gym 2 hours this morning. I'm like having to fully go for it. Fully go for it.
But I mean, you've been down to that before when you did Mamma Mia. You
Yeah.
all came out in Greece.
The thing is, mate, that's nearly 10 years ago since I was in Mamma Mia.
Wow.
So like,
God.
I'm gonna look. I am officially the oldest 17-year-old you've ever seen.
But you have been training with Mr. Tom Senior.
Yeah,
recently.
amazing as well with Gaston as well. I'm glad he can finally tell everyone. I'm chuffed that he can tell.
Yeah.
He's just, honestly, Tom's amazing. He's been such a help to me, like as in with obviously with the training, but obviously getting my mindset right, because that's the thing I think everyone forgets. Even whether you're running for 100 minutes or going to the gym, it's all about going and training with the right mindset and commitment. Because if you don't commit to it, it's never going to work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially for you, because you mentioned your shoulder. Has that held you back, or is that okay now?
Basically, when I dislocated my shoulder, the joint is still dislocated. But basically, what happened? It that bad. I didn't have to have surgery, so it's basically formed its own joint and scar tissue. It twinges occasionally, but I'm not really like I'm lifting fine in the gym, so I'm all right. It's not too bad. It just looks weird because it looks like my shoulder's completely out all the time.
Does it physically pop out now then?
It's just the joint. So where your shoulder sits in the joint, it's just shot up. So it's always.
Yeah.
It's going to look funny when I'm topless in Heathers because obviously it's going to look like my shoulder is out of place constantly, and everyone's going to be like, "What the hell is going on with that guy's shoulder?"
I'm sure nobody will notice.
Yeah. God.
So how is Jodie?
We don't know because obviously when they did the cast announcement, they didn't announce the full cast. So it's like, so I don't know who's playing Ram yet. So I'm basically just looking at pictures. I'm like trying to motivate myself, looking at pictures of like Brad Pitt and Ryan Reynolds, hoping that he's not going to be as muscly as them. Is what I'm trying to do.
Well, I mean, you're lucky you're not opposite Dominic because I mean his body's ridiculous.
Exactly, and that's the thing. When we did the original workshop, it always made me laugh because they were like, "So you guys are like in your pants at this point?" I was like, "This is a workshop." But no, everyone that we've spoken to, everyone I've spoken to who's doing it so far seems lovely as well. So I'm really looking forward to it.
I was about to ask. So have you been casting this for 2 years? Were you waiting?
No, so let's think. So they originally did all the auditions last Wednesday in New York. So that was like February year. And they did all the casting, and then I got a call in August. No, I got a call in July saying, "Can I do a self-tape for Kurt?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." And then I got an offer of the job about 3 weeks later. Amazing, but it was in the middle of middle of lockdown, and I was like, "What is going on?" Like, so, it's been amazing. It's been amazing. I'm into because it's kind of given me like a light at the end of the tunnel. But it's one of those things where keeping it a secret's been really difficult as well, and not telling everyone.
Yeah, you were never good at that because I remember when you first got cast in Wicked, and you kept telling us all, and we were like, "Babe, you shouldn't be telling people."
Yeah, I remember I went to Western Eurovision. I must have told 150 people, and they were like, "I was like, yeah." So.
And you were telling us who was like the rest of the cast as well. You're like, and it's so and so, and I'm like,
So like it's when Jodie gets the job. Like Jodie's like so calm and chilled, and I'm like jumping around the house, opening bottles of champagne.
And how's the little puppy?
Oh, what's he doing at the moment? Let's see what he's doing now. He's on the sofa, ripping a toy to pieces. So
Cute.
good. He's people haven't really thought through getting a puppy because I know a lot of people have ended up giving dogs back and stuff, which is sad. But like the best thing in the world for us, for me and Joe, it's kind of we never got to live. We in our 4 years that we were together 5 years on Thursday, which is amazing.
Wow.
But before only ever spent longer. So we've spent an entire year together, and she's still not left me. So I think I'm doing something all right.
Why would she ever leave you, Liam Doyle?
Annoying, mate. She
Um,
a weekend
how is she?
playing football Saturday, and I literally leave at 12 o'clock and I don't get home till 8:30. She's like, I'm a widow to football.
Well, I think most women probably are, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so, a little bit. It's the only thing I do. That's what I say. Is I'm cleaning the flat today. She's not in today, so I'm cleaning the flat to get in the good book so I can go to football tomorrow.
And so she's not coming back to 6, is she? We're
No.
allowed to say that. We talked about that.
No,
Um,
it's been a really difficult decision to be showed. It's one of those.
yeah.
There's stuff going on where she needs to be at home, like months work, like regardless of what's going on, like, and she didn't want to do it, but just and sometimes you've got to make that decision. Like the day that the cast came out, she was devastated. She loved it. Difficult to make, to choose to do something. So, like, yeah, she's done it right.
But as well for her.
Yeah.
But as well, obviously, she had such a roller coaster with it because obviously she was in the middle of the tour when it got shut down because of the pandemic, and then there was a drive-in that was going to come up, and then the day that the West End cast and the touring cast were rehearsing, and the West End cast got told that they could go ahead, but the touring cast was sent home because they'd be shut down again. So, I mean, that must be heartbreaking.
I think the 4 times in the entire start.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hard. You get so excited, and then she just wanted to go back. She just wanted to do her job, and it kind of every single time you were like, yes, we get. She even did the tech. They technically. Do you know?
Do I say that again?
Do you know how far you've ran so far?
I'm not really sure. I've got it in my ears because it's like connected to my run keeper.
Oh.
And it keeps popping in, but I'm not really listening to it.
Do it. I had to turn it off. I had to, you know, when it goes like beep, 1 kilometer, turn that off. That would make me tired. Whereas if I just run and don't think about it, but then go, oh, okay, I've run 5 miles. Like.
But yeah, I mean, I've been building it up. So when I decided to do the marathon, I've never run anything more than 5k before. So then I kind of have been building it up. And last week I got to about 17k. So it's gradually getting there. What was the furthest that you ran before the final marathon?
20 miles was the furthest I ran.
Wow.
And that was, and to be honest, I only did it once. And on tour, it was so difficult. Like, I wouldn't recommend it because I was having to, like, I remember we were in Belfast and I had to run a half marathon on a treadmill, which was awful because no one do it. But I would say, like, a couple of weeks, probably a month before, if you can run like 18, 19 miles, then you know how it feels when you're going to get to that bit where you hit the wall. Because if you get there and you know that you can get through it, that's when you know you're going to be fine.
And who did you run for? Who did you raise the money for?
I raised my money for Brain Research UK. My sister cyst in her brain, which was completely undiagnosed, and the cyst actually burst, and she was in hospital for a really long time. Obviously, just like trying to get rid of the swelling in the brain and everything. The NHS was so good with my sister. They were amazing. They gave her all the help she needed. She was all the best specialist. And they just help. And like cysts in brains and stuff like that aren't really researched. Not enough money to constantly research it. So I went, I'll raise the money that way.
That's amazing.
UK production, we do a bucket collection in our week in Sunderland. And I ended up raising £4,500. So I was.
Wow. That's amazing.
speech on the Saturday night and the marathon's the next day going, guys, I need you to give the buckets and get out of here quick so I can go home because I've got to run a marathon tomorrow.
And would you ever do it again?
Yeah.
I mean, you've said Jodie's doing it again, but how come you're not?
I think knowing I'd be on tour for it doesn't appeal to me just after how hard I found the training.
Yeah.
And do it as fast as she wants. Do you know what I mean? I kind of want. I feel like I kind of flowed last time, so I'm there being supportive rather than kind of dragging her back again.
Yeah, so like I'm doing it. Me and Rob Eyles are both doing it for the Terrence Higgins Trust, but he's so much faster than me. So I think we're going to start together, and then I'll just let him go.
What I would definitely is when you get there on the day, you'll see these people. They've got their time. So, say you want to run 5 hours or 4 hours or whatever, find a person with their number on their flag and just keep with them if you can, and then you know you're going to come. Yeah, that's what I did. I started with
that sounds amazing.
It's the best thing.
I am looking forward to it. It should be good.
Yeah.
And I've got a few months to go.
Yeah. And make sure you eat loads of carbs the week of the marathon.
Yeah.
Loading and loading.
Carb load.
Yeah, mate. The best.
When you start,
You eat a pizza, it's absolutely fine. You live your best life.
love that. So when do you start, Heathers? Is it July?
Yeah. So it will be. We start rehearsals July the 12th, and then it's good because obviously it's amazing that they're getting to put 2 productions on at the same time. So whoever does the town will have already been open for like 3 weeks when we start rehearsals. So they're literally just going to do one rehearsal process and then do a whole nother one again after that.
Wow.
But no, it's great. I can't. If I'm honest, I can't wait. I've been really lucky in terms of work. I work for this amazing company called Alpha Solutions, who have kept they've hired actors to do their telesales. So I'm working I would call it like a really corporate call center because I have to wear a suit to work. But it's amazing. We got to do that. We've done their adverts for them. We perform at events for them. They could not be any supportive of us as performers, and it's been amazing to kind of have that that's kept a roof over my head, if I'm honest. I think realistically I wouldn't be able to afford a flat if it wasn't for that job.
And of course, the videos that Alpha released over the lockdown.
Yeah, I think we raised £42,000 for the Carers Trust from that from now on video.
Wow.
And then I can now say I've recorded and released the Christmas album as well, which always makes me laugh because we did one through Alpha. Yeah, they're just honest. So they're producing something called they produced Lucy Jones' album called Live at the Adelphi.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of fingers and a lot of pies, and they're brilliant. Roger, who runs it, is just the biggest fan of the arts ever. And then it's kind of become this whole thing where we go to their events and we sing, like, go sing. It's brilliant.
And do you think you and Jodie will ever release a single together, a nice little Christmas single? How cute, isn't there?
Jodie probably will. Come at you. But no,
amazing.
It's been great. I'm just so glad everything's opening up and to see so much positive. Oh my God, we've all needed it so bad. Just like pubs are open, but we've been waiting for a year for some kind of hope for theatre and some kind of hope for so
exactly. And you mentioned Beauty and the Beast. Are there any other shows that you're looking forward to seeing returning or new shows?
Yeah, I can't wait to see Beauty and the Beast. My mate Louis Stockel's playing LeFou, and obviously Tom is on, so them two are going to be brilliant. What can I not wait to see? I want to go and see Dear Evan Hansen again. I only saw it once.
Yeah.
I can be honest, anything that is on, I will be going to watch. It's one of the...
So I've just been told in my ear that I've up to 70 minutes. So I've still got half an hour to go. It is harder than it looks. But I came up with the idea to do it. I was like, yeah, it'll be fine. But running and talking and carrying my phone, bit of a ridiculous idea. But thank you for tuning in.
Go Phil!
Oh, there. Woohoo! Amazing.
You've got this.
Thank you.
Pushing.
Thank you. Awesome.
Later.
See you later. Bye. So that was the brilliant Liam Doyle, who's recently been cast in Furthest. So I can't wait to see him in that. So I don't know if you heard, as I just mentioned, I'm up to 70 minutes of this ridiculous idea to run for 100 minutes as part of the Captain Tom 100 on what would have been his 101st birthday. So I'm in the beautiful hills of Cumbria, training for the London Marathon, which I'm going to be doing in October to raise money for the Terrence Higgins Trust, who are a brilliant charity that I'm really, really proud to support. So if you're watching this and you're feeling sorry for me, please do consider donating. We've got a link in the bio, and obviously all your help and support is amazing. Thank you, champions. There they are. They're incredible. So I'm just going to see if Rob is about, if he wants to jump back on and say hello. So I'm over halfway through, which is good. Good going. There's Rob. Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Hello.
Well, I'm a bit
How's your day been?
You're right. How's it going?
Getting there. But how are you? What's the working day?
You went. I was seeing Liam's dog in the last video, so I thought I'd bring my dog in this one. And he's wearing a little pride collar as well. That's
Cute.
his pride collar on.
Love it.
Do you like it? Say hello.
Very cute. Amazing. So cute.
So you're still going then? How long have you got left? What, 20
I've
minutes?
spoken to all my guests. I've got about 25 more minutes.
Okay.
So
You'll probably run nearly a half marathon.
I know, it's getting there. But yeah, I'm gonna log off and do the last bit because my arm's starting to get tired holding the phone.
I bet.
But yeah, getting there, and then I'll log back in just before I finish. But we'll get there.
Cool.
But speak soon.
Take care.
See you
Enjoy
later,
your last
buddy.
bit. See you later.
Hello. So I've just hit 80 minutes of this 100-minute run, which was for the first 75 minutes live on Instagram. I just want to thank all my guests, the brilliant Sarah Jane Price, Cathy Reed, Liam Doyle and Rob Eyles, who cheered me on and chatted to me while I ran. I've still got a little bit to go, but I'll be honest, my arm is killing from holding this phone. So I'm going to do the last bit offline, and then I'll probably jump back on right at the end as I reach the 100 minutes for Captain Tom 100, raising money for THaT, which you can read all about on our website and donate if you can. Thank you. I'm now into my last minute of this 100-minute challenge for Captain Tom 100, where I've been running live on Instagram for the first 75 minutes and then offline for the last 25. I'm here in Cumbria raising money for THaT, which I've set up with Rob Eyles to produce events to raise money for HIV charities. So if you can, please do check out our website, follow us on social media at THaT UK, and please donate. And that's it. Just been told in my ear that I've done it. Woo! 100 minutes. Thank you everybody so much for watching, tuning in, taking part, and getting me through it.